הבנתי, אבל לא חשוב. אבל זה נכון. אז גם אנחנו צריכות גם לזרוק את זה. די, זורקת את כל זה לפח, את כל הערימות. תודה.
אחר כך בטח עברתם
All right, come on in, let's have a seat. Let's crank out some more purpose statements. Yeehaw.
עכשיו שלקחתי את
אני לא הצלחתי להבין, אני לא רוצה לעשות את זה, היה נשמע לי חשוב לי להבין. שומעים כנסים?
3 מילים ולא היה מקור אני לא דמוקרטי יוסי אמר דבר דומה יותר לפחות אמר את זה באנגלית יש תמיש
טיפול במים וכאלה, עושה שם ביזנס זה ה-day job וחוץ מזה אני גם בין את וויסטון 2.0 שמעת על זה?
Apparently,
ועכשיו אנחנו רואים קצת של סאגה מה היה? אני אעשה אותו בפייסבוק וזה חיכרים
I don't know.
Can I just let everyone, I want to share some good news with everyone.
לא צריך את טיפול עולם השיטה דיברנו זה יותר מישהו לא נוכל, לא יעזור לא יעזור אתה מכיר את אורה?
אנחנו כבר מכירים.
כן?
פעם אחת בטלפון והיום נפגשתי
Anyone here object to having your personal information shared with this group?
No.
On the contrary, we like to have it happen.
Okay, good. So Karen will connect you guys.
Awesome.
Good. You ask her to do it. That'll be great. Good. Alon, you have good news to share with the group?
I just wanted to say that this was a very successful session for...
תקשיבי.
קרן המזכירה של...
It was a very successful session for me because when I went up just now, someone went up to me and said, "You really should go into politics." I know this was vague.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You're already halfway there. You already need to now just need to be
Exactly. So I think it's a great success.
Excellent. You and the other religious politicians.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Excellent. So apparently a trickster during the break made some modifications to our winning statement and put the little girl back in.
I take it out.
But we took her out.
But is it the right sentence? I don't remember. Okay, doesn't need the comma? Okay, good. Was that how we left it before it got tweaked? Is that identical to the one above it?
No.
No.
Center is
Center, oh yeah, I see it. There we go. Cool. Okay. It's a little harder for my eye to pick it out. Cool. Congratulations. Now we're on to blessing. Now let me say a couple things here in terms of process. One, it's late in the day. Two, you're Israelis and like to argue. And three, whenever someone's in charge and suggests a process or sets a boundary, you guys have a reflex to violate it.
That sounds very boundary.
I don't know, do you think it's Jewish or Israeli?
Jewish and Israeli and business near this point. Three great tastes that taste very good.
Jewish
So-
and Israeli is really different.
It makes it a lot of fun for me. It's great training as a facilitator to herd this particular group of cats.
Speaking of a kingdom of priests, cats is a name of Jewish priests. Cats.
Like Cohen.
It's an acronym for Cohen, yeah.
Cohen.
Herding cats is very appropriate.
Herding cats. Herding Cohen. Good. So the questions about the process are fine. Let me suggest that arguing about wording is a waste of time. The better way to do it, if you don't like how something is worded, is offer an alternative that's worded the way you would like it worded. But while someone else is suggesting their statement, or while we're reading one out loud to get a vote, is not the time to offer your critique. Wait until that's done, and then suggest what you would like to see, and we'll test that one also, okay? If every time someone suggests something, 3 people suggest a modification, it takes much longer. You guys with me? Okay, good. So we have here blessings. How many of these do we have, Yossi? 25. Perfect. Okay, good. So let's see how many we can get on the screen here. So again, now we're going to read the first 15 of them, looking, or verse 14, looking for themes, patterns, and things that stand out individually as having a strong reaction in you. Okay? So this is a repeatable, transformational activity. And wave at me in some way when you've read all 14 of them and you're ready for the next page.
יש פה ידע גבוה שחוזר.
Anyone still reading? Okay, next group, Yossi. Beautiful. Anyone still reading? Okay, good. So, what themes or patterns did you read or see?
High knowledge, or high knowledge, high perception, high thinking.
Acceptance.
Oops. Is that number 26 part of the list there, Yossi?
This list is much more diverse than the previous one.
Yeah.
It's much harder. Okay, listening.
זה ידע גבוה, או high knowledge, שתי של החיבור. חיבור.
Now, especially...
I need to see the whole list again, please.
Great, let's go back up. And let me say we especially are looking for a pattern of activities as opposed to a pattern of things. Because this aspect of purpose is a process, it's something you do.
להבין ולחבר. להוביל.
To lead, yes, to lead.
Good. Leading is a pattern.
To create ripples, transformations.
Yeah,
So
transformation,
I
creating
like
transformation.
I like the 15 energies are unifying and transform. Unify and transform.
Yeah, unify and transform came up over and over again in these. Any other patterns you saw, or ones that really stood out?
A higher stuff.
Good, so we heard that before, but it didn't get captured, so higher knowledge, higher something.
There's also something about the center of knowledge,
Yeah, so it says higher knowledge or
so something about
Yes.
being the center of knowledge or of higher knowledge for the.
I would suggest higher energy.
Good, higher knowledge, higher energy, center of knowledge.
Creativity also.
Creativity and innovation.
Or,
Yeah.
wisdom. You need verbs, right? It's not just higher knowledge, it's disseminating. I think we had the words disseminating knowledge or spreading knowledge or creativity and energy.
You said leading.
Yep.
Related to that.
Good, leading showed up a number of times.
You said lead the way.
Acceptance also.
Lead the way, I would say.
So, yeah, leading.
What's that also?
Acceptance.
Acceptance?
The other.
To make a place for everyone, so it's a team also. Maybe it's together with acceptance to make everyone at home and in his place.
Good, was there, that's a particular one that was there, right? Can we find let's see if we can find that one and copy it rather than trying to recall it from memory.
Bring morality.
yeah.
So which is the numbered one that talked about everyone being in their home or being in their place?
Moral's value.
זה 4, לא?
אתה יכול להביא את זה? לרשום?
את מה?
Which one was the
להנחיל
one?
ערכים מוסר לעולם.
Moral and values. Yes.
Bring morality and values. Good. Did we find the one about people being at home? Was that on the list or no?
It was.
It was or wasn't?
לא, אני רוצה לצלם אצלי וזה אני יש לי
נשלח לכם את זה אחר כך דרך
אחר כך, אני לא מצליח לחשוב על זה, אתה עובר לזה
מה אתה צריך לחשוב? לא צריך לחשוב.
אני רוצה
Yeah, good idea. Let's make a smaller circle. A bunch of people have left. Come on in.
To make living.
יש עוד 26 למטה.
תחכו למרכז.
כל הסכמים.
עכשיו 26 האחרון. יאללה, אל תתעצל.
Yeah, some people had to leave for their evening activities, so we're a smaller group Yossi, did we find the one about being at home? That's not on the list, we can't find it? Okay. Never mind. We'll find it, I think that's under mission. We'll find it. Good. Okay, anyone else want to nominate one for the short list? I think we got most of the main theme.
Well, hope appeared a lot, and it's not on the short list now.
Great, let's put hope on there.
Reveal the divine spark in people.
Right? Reveal the divine spark in people.
It says reveal divine light in others.
Spark, not light. Spark.
Well, there's more than one.
What about just, we talked how we had
What of the connection?
Something bad just happened.
Based from diversity to unity.
Jump around.
Don't.
אתה צריך להיות
Great.
צריך הבעיה.
ספר לי. כי פעם זה בעברית, פעם זה בעברית. אוקיי. עכשיו אין לי בעיות, הכל בסדר?
It comes out as a tagline, connecting, transforming, illuminating.
Good.
Connecting, transforming, illuminating. But I'd like to get hope in there as well.
like connecting לחדר.
זה גם טוב.
Unified.
אני חושבת שהסדר הפוך. אולי.
זאת אומרת?
כל דבר עובד מכל כיוון.
Transforming, illuminating.
Illuminating, transforming.
אתה מגיע לאילומינציה דרך הטרנספורמציה. את אומרת שהאילומינציה היא מתוך... אסור להתווכח. אני לא יהודי אפילו.
We already have transforming, we need illuminating.
Illuminating? זה הטרנספורמציה של הרעיון פה.
עכשיו אני פוליטיקאי.
All right. So what we need to do now, similar to the other one, is to create sentences out of the stuff on the short list. If you try to include everything, it'll tend to make something that's really big and clunky and won't work. So you want to try to capture some of, pick a few of these and try to capture them in a powerful sentence. And the format of a blessing-based purposing, because it's an activity, would be Israel does X, whatever, right? So Israel illuminates and transforms. Israel reveals the divine light in people. Israel, so it's phrased as an activity, okay? So something like acceptance by itself is a noun. It wouldn't fit as a blessing unless it were part of an activity, okay? So Israel helps people to accept the divine light in themselves, or something like that. So we have to phrase a whole sentence that's an activity. Israel does something. Okay? So yeah, go for it.
Israel is leading acceptance and hope.
Or Israel leads.
Leads. Israel leads acceptance and hope.
Acceptance and
Hope.
Israel offers hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating. To be a sentence, it has to be humanity, or humanity to the divine, but you don't want the divine.
אוקיי, מה המשפט? מה אתה רוצה להגיד?
Israel offers hope, she offers hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
By
Connecting.
Transforming.
Why offer?
כי זה המילה.
לא, אני לא...
And unified.
תגידו, תכניסו משפט משנה. איך תגידי? צריך פה.
רגע, אז בוא תסיים.
And illuminating humanity.
What about unified?
אז זה מישהו אחר.
Israel brings the energy of hope by בכל השעה.
Israel מה?
Brings the energy of hope.
It's either connecting or unified, no?
by בכל השעה.
וגרסה עוד אחת דומה, יותר קצרה. Israel creates hope by unity.
Israel hopeifies.
Israel creates hope by unity.
איזה דיכאון בעולם מסתבר.
Tim, is it better
אין
if it's
תקווה
longer or
ככה.
shorter or it doesn't?
Israel creates by
If it's
unity.
really long, it's a problem. But other than that, it
Yes,
varies.
I want to suggest Israel unifies, illuminates, and transforms humanity.
Other candidates?
Instead of Israel offers hope, creates hope.
I'll go with that reveal one and say Israel reveals the divine light in people.
Impact.
Divine light in people.
How would you translate ערבות הדדית?
You don't need to, you can type it in here.
Responsibility.
אבל זה לא blessing.
אני חושבת שזה בשליחות עליו. אבל את יכולה לעשות.
No, it's codependency.
Any other candidates? Okay, let's start testing these. We've lost our reader. Who volunteers to read now? Great. Laura?
Israel leads acceptance and hope. Should I go on?
So let's just do a quick vote on each one. We'll just check how many
But
people.
it doesn't resonate because the English, you've got to give it the best possible read. I mean, it's just not well formulated, even if the
You
content.
can suggest an alternative.
I don't understand what it means.
אתה לפוליטיקה.
I don't give
So
myself.
I understand your concern, Alon, but let's, if you want to try to fix it, you can create an alternative. Otherwise, we just have to let ourselves react to it or not. And we're trying, you try to go with the spirit of it. I, like you, have an analytical mind that starts to pick apart the wording.
Did you notice?
But notice the, notice the physical and emotional reaction. Good, so try it again, Or.
Israel leads acceptance and hope.
Good, if you had a strong
I'll
reaction.
suggest, can we say
Hang
radiates?
on. If you had a strong reaction to that sentence, please raise your hand. Okay. 2. And
Variation is radiates.
good, so now we can try Israel radiates acceptance and hope as an alternative.
Israel radiates acceptance and hope.
Good, raise your hand if you had a strong reaction to that sentence. 3. These are very lowly raised hands, so I hope I'm not missing any. Good, so you can do a 3/2 at the end of that sentence. You'll see? Good, next one. Laura? Let's do one at a time.
Okay, Israel creates. Just a minute. Israel creates hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
Good. Raise your hand if you had a strong reaction to that. 5.
Israel offers hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
3. And it's the same sentence stem there at the end, by.
Okay. Israel brings the energy of hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We are the best.
I got a much stronger reaction, huh?
Israel creates hope by unity.
Wow.
6, 7 also.
No, no, it's the fake.
God has a sense of humor. All right.
Israel reveals the divine light in people.
Oh, you have
Or maybe in men.
4.
to. Can you try that with humanity?
Sure.
Sure. Israel reveals the divine light in humanity.
5.
מגלה. ישראל מגלה את האור האלוהי באנושות.
חושפת.
Great. Next.
ערבות הדדית.
Not a sentence.
2.
Israel unifies, illuminates, and transforms humanity.
4. Excellent. So we've got a. Yeah, you got another?
5 to that. I didn't
Oh, 5. Okay. On the last one, change the 4 to a 5.
I just noticed something,
Yeah.
that sentences that you can see, that they have more vivid images, work better on emotions.
Well, and trusted sources tend to speak in terms of images also. So usually the sentence that has an implied image in it is closer to the original trusted source language. Yeah. Good. Change that 4 to a 5 on that last one, Nelson.
Sorry.
Right where your cursor is. Backspace, make it a 5.
No,
Change
no,
the
it's,
4 to a 5. There's no 4. There we go. Good. Okay, so we got 2 7s.
Can I try another one?
Sure.
I wrote down, Israel brings hope to light. To light.
Okay, so bring it, say it a little louder. So
Israel brings hope to light.
Okay, raise your hand if you have a strong reaction to that sentence. Not so much. Okay.
Can I try another variation on,
Sure.
on the first one?
Yeah.
Israel,
It's important to write it even if it's...
No, hey, we got no votes. I think we're okay.
Israel radiates hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity. Instead of brings the energy, radiates.
Okay, good.
מקרינה במקום להביא את האנרגיה.
Good.
Israel
So just some feedback for you is every time you say it, you immediately start to compare it to another sentence or pick it apart instead of just reading the sentence and stopping, so it's hard for people to react. So just say the sentence and then stop talking.
Israel radiates hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
Good. Raise your hand if you have a strong reaction to that. 3. Good.
Can we do radiates the energy of?
Sure, try it.
So Israel,
No, you have to read the whole, just say that.
Israel radiates the energy of hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
Good. Raise your hand if you have a strong reaction to that. 3. Okay, so let's focus on these 2 7s. Okay, energy brings the energy of hope by connecting, transforming, illuminating humanity, and Israel creates hope by unity. Okay? So let's do a forced vote on those 2. And we're going to borrow something from the Passion Test, which is imagine that you were voting which one, thank you very much for this, Reed. Imagine that you had to eliminate one of these, that Israel was never going to do that ever again. And it was only going to do the one. Okay, so imagine the 2 of them, and if someone could please read them both out loud, and you have to imagine you have to eliminate one of these, and it will never happen. Okay?
So,
there's
there's
Sorry,
Can you please, the first sentence, can you please fix
Write it in full.
Write it
Yeah.
in full.
Yeah, it's
Delete the radiate.
Israel brings the energy of connecting.
Oh.
Actually, can you try just this one?
By. And then take.
and now take the end of the sentence above it by
From by.
connecting, transforming.
Yeah.
It's best if you copy and paste it so you don't destroy the one above.
Maybe-
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Instead of connecting, unifying.
Okay, we can test those two. So we lost of humanity along there, by eliminating humanity at the end of that.
Of this we lost.
So the sentence that you just made, the one that's still highlighted, is missing the word humanity at the end. No, just humanity.
Can you maybe
Sorry, that
just
was
try
my-
Israel brings the energy of hope?
Sure, we can try that.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, let's delete this /radiate of hope 7/3 that's in the middle there. It just makes it hard to read. Good. Okay, good. And so now we have a couple other offerings. We have Israel, was it brings the energy of hope? Was that it?
Period.
Yes.
Good. Let's try that one. Israel brings the energy of hope. Write that in there. And it needs a the before energy. The
Brings
energy.
the energy.
Brings
The energy. Beautiful. And then, Anat was suggesting if you would copy the first one. Great. Copy the first one and replace connecting with unifying.
Yes.
this one.
Yeah.
Brings unify.
Instead of connecting.
Unifying.
Aim. Beautiful. And now, just after that one, hit carriage return just to get the other one off the screen. There we go. So there are our 4 candidates. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So let's test these, or if you would read those. And again, now we're just going to vote for whichever ones you have a strong reaction to. Go ahead.
Israel brings the energy of hope by connecting, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
Good. Your phone likes that one. Raise your hand if you have a strong reaction to that. You can vote as many times as you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Next, Aura.
Israel brings the energy of hope.
Good. Raise your hand for that one. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 8 on the first one, 6 on the second.
Israel creates hope by unity.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that one. Good.
Israel brings the energy of hope by unifying, transforming, and illuminating humanity.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, that's almost everybody. We only missed like 2 or 3 people. So that would suggest that that's the answer.
כל הזמן 13. טוב מאוד.
Right.
13 is a strong
13 is a strong number.
13 זה strong number.
In Hebrew,
Huh?
it's
In
the
Hebrew is love and wonder.
What an interesting coincidence.
It's also the number of fixation. Fixed.
Okay. So unless someone has a miraculously stronger one, we now have a blessing. And let me say, that is a very powerful blessing. And here's some important evidence that that is Israel's blessing, which is Israel's doing a magnificent job at the exact opposite of that. And if you recall, my message was that the pillars of society, which actually includes Israel, according to my trusted sources, are currently doing the opposite of their higher purpose. So the fact that Israel is doing the opposite of that is actually evidence that that is Israel's higher purpose.
So how do we bridge the gap?
How do we bridge the gap?
Yeah.
We got to find someone who's skilled at influencing politicians to help us get this purpose of Israel.
Good luck.
Actually, we don't. We need to have someone who's skilled at influencing the people.
Yes, that too. All of the above. I was cracking a little joke. But we also need religious politicians, I was told earlier, which I'm totally down with. I'm excited about that.
Religious politicians are also doing the opposite of your calling.
Absolutely. As most of us are. Good. Well done, folks. Now, you guys have a little stamina left to try one more?
Yeah.
One more.
Purpose statement.
Oh.
Ready for a shlichut?
It's going to go very quickly because we need to leave, so we won't
Right.
obstruct the process anymore.
I'm glad to hear that. In fact, I'm actually really excited about that.
Exactly.
So it's
Just say no more obstructive pillars. Thanks to everyone. It was great fun and very purposeful, actually.
Excellent.
So we're going to leave because we have a flight.
Okay, good. Does anyone have objections to photos of yourself being placed on Facebook in association with this meeting?
What?
Do you mind having photos of yourself put on Facebook showing you were at this meeting?
It's okay?
It's okay? I don't mind. This is my day job. It's fine with me. Good. Okay, here we go. Shlichut. Let's get a dozen or so of these on the screen. All right, there's 14 of them. Start reading. Thank you very much.
Take my too. I have to be at a meeting.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming. See you. So now that you've seen this, check with your trusted source about doing it for your organization.
Well,
יוסי, תודה לאירוע.
תודה.
Anyone still reading?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we good? Okay, next page. 15 and up. Can't quite fit them. All right. Just scroll down so we can see the last one or two people are probably up 15 by now. Okay, up a little bit, so 34 is right at the bottom. Can you scroll up a little bit? There we go. Good. Still reading? All right. So, which themes and patterns did you see in that?
תיקון עולם. few times.
Good alarm, yeah?
Moral values.
Unity.
B. Demonstrate.
תיקון עולם, מה עוד?
חברה נמוכת. היה שם. ערכים.
אנושיות, מוסר.
בכלל ערכים, כן. של האנושיות, מוסר.
Unity.
Yeah, something about creating unity or unifying shows up.
For me, generosity is to give, to give, to give. To be in that.
It's an action.
So the mission is also an action, but it's something you can only do once. So if you transform the world, you know, change society to a new level, something like that, then you're done, right? As opposed to a blessing you do over and over and over again.
So תיקון עולם
תיקון עולם
fits
says
Perfect
everything.
one fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Other candidates people want to nominate as being very powerful or showing up over and over again?
Shalom.
Good.
Number 13.
I think תיקון עולם, shalom is part of it.
Yeah.
Well, you have
I think shalom is shalom.
Shalom, she's nominating it as a theme, so you put it on the list.
שלום זה חלק.
בסדר, זה לא אומר שהוא לא קיים.
אבל ברגע שהשגתי
It's very
שלום,
vague.
זה גמרת? הקטע של
אבל בזה גמרתי.
במישן, ברגע שהגעת לזה, סיימת. להגיע לשלום ולך
שלום, תלוי איך את מגדירה שלום. תלוי מה את מגדירה ששלום. זה בדיוק הערב הזה עוסק במה זה שלום. זה שלום, זה היה חשוב שינוי, כי ההגדרה לשלום שלום בשבת, אמרת את זה
משהו אחר, environment, humanity,
Any other strong themes, patterns, or ones you want to call out?
רשם לעצמו שלום שלום.
I thought something about be that thing.
Being the model, being this, being that. For mission, it's helpful to try to get a whole sentence fragment, not a word or two.
27.
תשים גם את 11.
Missing any? We got the main ones.
הרמוניה.
לא, אתה צריך לשים את זה על ה-A.
So if you just delete that blank line, you'll be fine. And you got 2 blank lines.
עוד דלית אחד. אז זה יעלה.
There we go. Good. Cool. So now we need to work with these to turn them into mission-based purpose statements. And the mission-based purpose statement would start with, the mission of Israel is to, blah, blah, blah. So if you can just create a sentence stem there, on a line by itself, the mission of Israel is to,
the first one, השליחות של ישראל היא לתקן עולם, להביא לתיקון על ידי דוגמה לחברת מופת.
So you leave that sentence done by itself, dot dot dot, and then people are going to supply what goes after.
אוקיי, שאחד יגיד מי שרוצה, שליחות של ישראל היא.
לתקן עולם.
זה עלה, אתה שם את זה בבולטים כל פעם.
Yeah, put it on a line by
או
itself.
להביא לתיקון עולם. לא לתקן, להביא לתיקון עולם. על ידי דוגמה לחברת מופת עדיף.
להביא
לתיקון עולם.
עושים את זה פה.
תיקון עולם.
על ידי דוגמה, או על ידי היותנו דוגמה לחברת מופת.
אני יכולה גם לנסות?
ודאי.
So it may result in less work for you, Yossi, if you just leave the first part of that sentence on a line by itself, and then you don't have to keep repeating it. The mission of Israel is to, blah, blah, blah. And you can just put different,
blah, blah, blah.
Put different, you like that? You can put different endings to the sentence below there.
מה?
I know. I can see where he's going there. Good.
אני מקשיב.
השליחות של ישראל להוות חברת מופת
שתביא לתיקון העולם.
שתביא לתיקון העולם.
זה לא היה מישן של הקיבוצים?
I got that one out of an Israeli politician.
מי זה החברה הזאת?
הקיבוצים?
I'm not saying.
דרך אגב, החברה הקיבוצית בתחילת הדרך היוותה אידיאל.
Was it
It's good,
religious?
we are on the way.
I'm not saying.
Why?
So we are on the way, it's good.
רק מופת.
כשהוא פשט את הרגל, הוא הסיק
רגע נראה מה היה לנו
But then, what is the for you, for him, for others?
That's part of what we have to sort out. If that's the mission, we'd have to agree on it now, wouldn't we? Good. Other candidate sentences based on this short list. Mission of Israel is to humanize the world. Let's throw that one in there. So it would be humanize. So we'll replace the Asian with an E. And delete the O.
You need translation for the first two things?
Sorry, I don't know the meaning.
Humanize?
The world, no O. Perfect.
השליחות של ישראל זה, השליחות של ישראל היא לתקן את העולם ולהפוך אותו למקום שלם. מה היה שם? תעלה למעלה? היו שם עוד כמה מילים. למקום מוסרי ושלם יותר.
Got it?
השליחות של ישראל זה להאיר בעין את העולם.
בעין או באלף?
בעין.
ואחר כך באלף, ואז הכל נראה בהי.
אני אמרתי עין, בשביל לעורר מודעות, לעורר... לפתוח את העיניים. מה מודעות באלף?
בסדר.
זו הצעה שלי.
אבל היא רוצה להעיר
אחד
בעין.
בעין.
להאיר.
להאיר בעין?
תשאיר גם את זה.
אתה יכול, גם את זה וגם את זה.
אפשר להעיר ולהעיר.
אותו דבר, בעברית א' עין.
זה כל השמיעה. זה גם
Any other
אותו דבר.
candidates?
אתה יכול לעלות רגע למילים?
לעורר את העולם.
להתעורר קודם כל.
Okay, let's test these. Or you want to keep reading, or should we get someone else? Okay, good. So testing for strong reactions, positive or negative?
השליחות של ישראל היא להביא לתיקון עולם על ידי היותנו דוגמה לחברת מופת.
Great. Strong reaction, raise your hand. 4, 5, 6.
השליחות של ישראל היא להוות חברת מופת שתביא לתיקון עולם.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's going to be hard to beat. That'll be 13.